this again. This is take 2 of my live here on this hot day in DFW. Man, I don't know where you're going to be watching from, but I am in the DFW Metroplex, and it is 81 degrees on February the 19th. That is ridiculous. 81 degrees on February the 19th, and it just now turned 12 o'clock as of the recording here. But this is another episode of Windshield Wisdom. Another episode of Windshield Wisdom. I started one, and as I started one, my wife called in. I believe it froze up my screen, and so I deleted that, and I'm back with another Windshield Wisdom. So here's the deal. As most of my followers know, if you're new jumping on this live here, you might not be aware of this, but I'm a bivocational pastor, which means I work both inside the church and outside of the church. So I'm currently in between checking on a job this morning, dropping off some materials, and then going back to the house to pick up my wife to go to the church to work on an event we have this Saturday at the church. So that's kind of my life. This Windshield Wisdom format is an opportunity for me to just share my thoughts that are coming to me in the moment. Driving, I find, is an opportunity to really think. I don't turn my radio on usually. I might listen to a podcast, but usually I'm just thinking. And so in the construction world, I've done construction since a kid. When I was 18, I started working for my oldest brother full-time in remodeling, residential remodeling. Man, we did a lot of different projects with my brother. He does a lot of work. I've worked on federal buildings in downtown Dallas. I've worked on Larry Brown. I did a fire restoration for Super Bowl MVP Larry Brown of the Dallas Cowboys. I've worked on big houses in Highland Park. I've worked on trap houses in Oak Cliff. I've done all kinds of work, but in the season of working with my oldest brother in the residential construction industry, one of the things that I learned was that I'm really good at construction. My hands are really good at, building things and making things come to life. And I remember a couple different instances where other people kind of co-signed on my gift and my skill set in the area of construction, specifically being a carpenter. The first time was on what's called the Elm Streets in Dallas, Texas. And the Elm Streets is some homes that were built in a certain time period. I believe it's like the 40s to the 60s. And so when you go in there and you remodel these houses, you're trying to keep the look of the original house. And I was doing some, I think it was like beadboard type carpentry work for this customer. And after a few days, they came back and they told me they were telling all their friends that Caleb Knight is the best carpenter in Texas. Now that was a huge compliment to my carpentry skills. I didn't know that I was that good, but in their mind, they thought that I was the best carpenter, and they were telling their friends, if you want a good carpenter, hire Caleb Knight. Fast forward a few more years, I was doing a job in University Park in Dallas, which is Highland Park's little brother in Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex. And I was having to do some work on this winding staircase. And I was doing a wood base for what was going to be a custom iron handrail. And the owner of the house came in one time as I was doing some of these things, and the owner said that I was an artist. He said, "Man, you're an artist." And I was like, "Actually, I'm a carpenter, not an artist." And he said, no, you're an artist. I said, well, what makes you think you're an artist, that I'm an artist? And he said, because carpenters can't do what you're doing with that wood. Because I was having to slope it and shape it and do crazy things that I'd never done before on this winding staircase. And I realized, in those moments that I really was good at what I did. And in recent years, I started some of these channels that I'm on now back during COVID 2020. And I've just recently started uploading stuff like this channel, my own personal channel. I've been uploading things for about a year. This year I decided to be a lot more intentional. And one of the things that I realized that you really need in today's world is you need confidence. Hear me out. This is Windshield Wisdom. You need confidence. And what confidence is it's you knowing that you're good. And there's a difference between being confident and being cocky. Cockiness means I've got to be better than someone else. It's all about, competing with someone else. It's all about putting someone else down so that I can be better. But confidence is totally different. Confidence just means I believe in me. And I remember when I was working on this channel and working on some of this stuff, I had a logo designed for my own personal brand channel. I'm wearing the hat right now. This is the logo for, and CK that's on this hat stands for Caleb Knight. That's my name. And I realized that if I'm not going to believe in myself, who else is going to believe in me? If I'm not going to believe in what I believe in and what I stand for and what I'm putting out, who else is going to believe in me? And so the wisdom that I have for you today is this. You've got to get some confidence in who you are, in what you do, in what you provide to this world and to society and to your industry. And man, believe in yourself, because if you don't, who will? The first time I started wearing this hat, I thought, man, it's kind of weird. Someone is eventually going to ask me what that stands for. No, it's not Calvin Klein, it's Caleb Knight. And if I'll wear something representing Calvin Klein, why wouldn't I wear my own logo? That's not confident. That's not cockiness. That's not arrogance. That's simply confidence. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. And I believe in myself. So if you're out there listening, if you're out there watching, here's some windshield wisdom for today. Do you believe in yourself? Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe in you? If you don't have some confidence, you don't walk around knowing who you are, no one's going to take you serious. No one's going to buy what you're selling. No one's going to pick up what you're putting down. There's a difference between that and arrogance and cockiness. No one wants to hang around arrogant and cocky people because it's all about them. When you're confident, you know how I'm serving the people I'm trying to serve. You know how I'm trying to, make the world in my little, realm of the world better than it was before I got here. That's what I got to say. I know I see some comments coming through. One of these days, I'm going to actually do one of these lives where I'm not driving so I can see what you're saying. I'm sure some people are jumping on here saying crazy things, but that's out of my control currently. Have a great day. Make a difference in this world. Be you. Be you. Be confident in who God has created you and called you to be, and watch what He does. Have a great rest of your day, friends. Bye.